Yeah. For white guys. Black guys. For Mexicans. So, yeah. Black people are good. Man. Oh, man. I'm gonna say this shit.
How about start off how it took you a whole year to start this up?
You want to keep being part of the podcast, right?
I do.
It hasn't been a whole year.
Has it?
No.
It has. Actually, it's
Since-
been more.
Well, since we sat around the table
Mhm.
together. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I was gonna say because we just sat down and did a little Zoom one. in
What was
January.
that really? Film news.
Talked about movies. I think.
Anyways. All right, so
And we're
let's
back.
start it off. And we're going. Shit. How did we start?
Intro. Right?
This is the intro. He never cuts any of this part out.
No. I guess welcome to Film News.
Yeah. Again.
2025.
Yeah.
We're trying this. This is our 6th season.
You
Even
keep
though-
track of that?
Yeah.
Oh,
we
okay.
keep- this is our 6th season. Hopefully we'll make it through the year.
Hopefully, yeah.
It's February. We
March.
have a new co-host with us. So let's go around the table. Introduce yourself.
It's me. It's AJ. It's been here since day one, kind of.
Kind of.
Kinda.
Yeah.
For film news, not for Silent Flight.
I am Johnny, and this is day one for me.
And of course, I'm David. Yeah, pretty much. That's it. All right. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks
on
for-
the phone.
See you later, guys.
See you. All right. So real quick, a little bit of background about Johnny. Who is Johnny? Why are you on Film News? Why the fuck did you decide to join us?
Well, y'all needed saving. I think that's what it was, right?
What?
You called me and you said, Johnny, we need saving.
Oh, we need it.
So here I am, podcast
We need a new
Jesus.
anchor. Yeah.
Yes.
Podcast Jesus. Oh
Another
my
anchor
God.
being, right?
Right.
No, well, for film, I've always been a fan of movies ever since I can remember. When I was young, actually,
You remember that far?
I do. I hit my head a lot, but I still have some memories.
Dropped a couple times.
I
Yeah.
dropped a few times, but it's neither here nor there. Anyways, so I actually wanted to be a professional wrestler. And so wrestling was like a part of life. Like
Yeah.
you couldn't tell me that shit was fake. If you told me that shit was fake, we're fucking throwing hands. We're fucking throwing hands. Like, bitch, I'll show you what's not fucking fake, right? So with that, you know, I used to always throw myself around and I'd run against the walls and smack myself and I'd fall and kind of like doing my own little stunts, and my parents would get mad. My mom would always just have a heart attack every single time, and she would just yell at me, and my dad would get home and he'd be pissed off. What the fuck you doing? And you know, you're gonna hurt yourself and this, but yet they're cheering me on while I'm playing football, throwing my body around and shit. Right? I was like, how's that different? Whatever.
It's football.
Oh, because we paid for that. That's why.
Man.
We're not paying for you inside the house. I mean, whatever. So yeah. So since then, like, I got into like watching wrestling, and then finally I got old enough to realize that this shit's scripted, and kind of broke my heart. But I still kept watching it, and I didn't give a fuck. Then it got into the acting part, and then movies. It kind of just all blended in, and I've always been a huge fan of all types of movies. Cinema, it's like action, comedy, and horror. Horror is like I love horror. I got a whole horror sleeve, and so that was my favorite genre of movies. And I think a lot of it had to do with also growing up. I was scared of the dark, and to overcome that, the horror movies is what helped me, overcome that. So I was like, you know what, I can do this shit, right? Whatever. And so movies, and I'm just a huge fan of it. All sorts of movies. And then you called me, talked to me about film noobs and what y'all do about, y'all talk about watching movies, certain movies, and kind of critique them and whatnot. And I'm like, I'm all for it. I don't even think I let you finish. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Fucking yes. Absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Now, also, you forgot to mention you are an actor, because the way you and I met,
Yes.
we were on set we had Cassidy. Well, we were looking for a devil man,
Mhm.
and our DP Jessica, who has been on films before, she sent me a picture of you.
Mhm.
When I saw your picture, I was like, man, this Miami Vice looking motherfucker. I was like, all right, I don't know if he's gonna fly. You know, he's a pretty boy. All of a sudden, I sent it to the director because I wasn't directing that one, and she just got a girl hurt on, and she's like, yes, all right. Then we met you, and you're like, dude, your picture does not look like you're
Calm
fucking.
down. First off, Jessica caught me in a very unique time. Out of nowhere, first off, me and Jessica, how we met, she's one of my students at the MMA school, so that's how we met. And the reason why I got brought in was one time after practice, after my class, she just out of nowhere, she's like, hey, does anybody want to help over the weekend? We're going to be making, help us on set. We're filming a movie and we can use some extra bodies to come help out. Me, I'm like, I was going through some shit back then. I was like, you know what? I have some time. I was like, you know what? I'll do it. I don't mind. I'll help. I was like, when I was in theater in high school, and I got to be a set director. So I was like, oh fuck, I'll do it. I was like, let me dust off my skills, right? So I was like, fucking Jessica, I'll do it. I was like, if you need help, whatever. So she told me the dates, and I was like, shit, I'm gonna be gone. I'm gonna be in Vegas. So I went to Vegas for about almost a week. And that's when she just sent me a text out of nowhere. Hey, send me a selfie. And I read the message like, what? The fuck? Like,
Yeah.
Jessica, are you high? Like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Like, and I think I messaged her. I'm like, are you okay? Like, was this the wrong? Is this to me? She's like, yes. Just send me a picture, a headshot. I'm like, okay, but why? And then she told me, she's like, we need somebody to get casted in a role here in this movie that we're filming, Bellator. And I'm like, oh. I was like, okay. I was like, I thought I was just gonna help on the set. So I was like, fuck it, yeah, I'll do it. So I sent her the photos, and I guess that's when she had sent it to y'all. I was in Vegas, and then I took a flight back. I came back home. I got home like in the middle of the night, and it was Friday. You're like, be here at set at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Sounds about right.
yeah. So I was like, all right, cool. So
You remember those days?
Oh yeah.
yeah. So I fly in. I think I get home like at 2. I don't even unpack, and I get a few hours of sleep. I get up, then I go straight to set and wake up in the morning. And I'll never forget this shit. I go, and I'm like, okay, where am I at? Finally you let me in, and then you're like, hey, we need wardrobe. I was like, well, I have some shit packed, So
Yeah, you still had all your
I
shit
still have my
packed
shit
up.
packed. So I went back home and I grabbed all this clothes that I had, and I think the coat that I had was still brand new. It had the tags on. Like I hadn't even used that shit. It was brand new. So we're like, hey, Dave was like, are you okay with us fucking it up? I'm like, I don't care, whatever. Start cutting the shit, and I'm like, oh, that's what you meant, like fucking it up. It's like, oh. Started cutting everything, right, and making it all dirty. I was like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. So then I sit down, and I meet Jen for the first time. She's putting the makeup. And then I think it was either Jen or you. Somebody had asked me, hey, so what did you think of the script? And I'm like, what script? They're like, wait, the script, did Jessica send it to you? I was like, no, I didn't get no script, like, what? And I'm like,
Typical.
what script, And she's all like, oh God, wait, so you have no idea what's going on? I was like, no, like, you just told me to come over here and sit, and that's it, what else? So I'm like, I don't even know, I didn't even know I had lines. I thought I was just gonna be like an extra or whatever, just background, whatever, So then she got an old iPad, and y'all were able to bring up the script. She's like, well, there's no time to read the whole story, so just go ahead and read your lines. This is what you're gonna do today. I was like, okay. So I'm reading it, and I'm like, fuck, man. I was like, the last time I was up in front of a crowd, like actually performing in that environment, was my senior year. I had to do the Hamlet soliloquy, to be or not to be. And I did that in front of everybody, and it was just kind of like, that was the last time I ever had to like do any kind of performing and remember lines and whatnot. So I read my lines. I guess my audition for it was the first scene, and so I go out there and I read the scenes and I don't know, I guess I killed it. I don't know. I mean, I ended up being the Devil Man. I ended up being, sticking with the part, so I didn't get fired. But then again, I was cheap, so
Yeah, that was the deciding factor. That it was like we needed a body, and you were cheap and available.
And who was supposed to be? What happened there?
I don't know. I really don't know. That was like a year ago, and I've had meds since then. So yeah.
So anyways, well, nonetheless, it was fun. I met y'all guys. The first thing, like when I first met David, this dude was sitting on the damn bench in the church. He just sitting there, like sizing me up. I'm like, chill, bro. Like, hey man, listen.
Well, you're the Devil Man. You gotta look good.
Yeah. So I mean, I didn't look good though, right? I mean, I look like a bum.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I look like a good bum.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, no, I mean, so that's how I met y'all. And I think you said something snarky to me. You're like, you don't even look like what you look like in your pictures.
Yeah, that was my first comment.
Yeah, I was like, well, first off, I haven't slept and I didn't shave. Okay?
No,
Jessica asked for a selfie and I sent her one of my best profile pictures that I could.
No, this motherfucker looks like Miami Vice with little shades, a little white shirt,
When
open.
I was shaved, and this time I had a beard. I had a full beard.
Yeah.
So
Miami Vice, and then we get Johnny.
First, I didn't know. I didn't know what to just be here at 7. They gave me the address, and then when I get to the address, the shit was sketch already. I'm like, man,
It always.
That's usually our
no. It was so fucking sketch, man. It was in the downtown, like
Bum Central. Yeah.
fucking bum city, man, tent city, like. Bro, just scratch. Hey, bro, you got a few bucks on you? You got some extra change? The fuck you gonna do with the extra change? Open up a fucking bank account? Like, no, I don't have extra change. What are you doing? So I get there and it's like, it looks like it's an abandoned church, but it's not.
Yeah.
Really, right? I'm trying to buzz in. Nobody's letting me in. I'm calling Jessica. She's not answering. I'm like, I'm being fucking set up. I was like, I'm being fucking set up. And then finally, they let me in, buzz me in. And then I walk around, and then I got to get buzzed in again. I'm like, what is this, fucking prison? Like, it's supposed to be
it's
church.
Bum Central, dude.
Well, yeah, but it's also a church, So the church was heavily guarded on the outside. So anyways, it was good times. I had a blast being the Devil Man, and I think I even did I did my own stunts. I had just got off of back surgery. I was like, I think 2 months.
Yeah.
I was 2 months post-op from a major back surgery that I had. And I don't know why my stupid ass decided I'm gonna fucking jump off a balcony.
It was like 3 feet off the
It was
ground,
not
dude.
3 feet.
This motherfucker.
No.
Dude, and then it was like 10 feet worth of damn cushion that he falls into.
I hope that when they're doing this video, they do a little snippet of where I was sitting. Yeah, do that. Edit that video.
I am gonna edit that
Yes,
video.
edit
It's
it.
like this much off the ground, dude.
He's a liar. First off, it wasn't.
He's also had back surgery though, so he's like, yeah, if I did it,
Yeah, you're good,
Nah.
man.
No. And then,
And then he claims to be like Army Ranger bullshit, fucking special forces, all this good crap, and he's like, I don't know if I could fall 3 feet on
He's
and
lying.
he's MMA too, and all this bullshit. I'm like, dude, come on, man.
Yeah, he's full of shit. Look at
He's
him.
like, and then he wants to be a wrestler too. Like, how you want to be a wrestler in the second
He
movie?
smells like shit. He's
Yeah, I was
lying.
like, dude, come on.
So-
anyway, moving on.
It's funny because when I decided to do that scene, David stops. He's like, hold on, wait. You recording? Good. And then he gives me the fucking disclaimer.
Hey, if something wrong happens, I get it on film and we good. We got it on film.
He's like, you saw that? You
Yeah.
heard that? You recorded that?
Yup.
I'm like, I'm not gonna sue y'all, bro. I
Hey,
like
we're
that.
broke. It's not as bad as with AJ. When we got AJ, he was like, what,
19,
19 years old.
Oh shit.
And
if that.
we went down to Cuero, and I told him, Mom, the golden rule is never say no.
No.
Just never say no, bro. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, look, on set or any kind of production, if they ask you to do something,
Do
Roger,
it.
just do it. Even if
First
you
set
get
I've ever been on, mind you, I was my second semester of college, he was just kind of like, "Does anybody want to come out on this set, help out?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." Probably like, it's winter break. I'm not doing anything. Sure, I'll go. Fucking however long of a drive it is out to Cuero, I'm
Like
stuck in his van.
8 hours.
Shit. With me and like 3 other UIW students, we're just driving all the way down to Cuero. We're driving through Gonzales, all the freaking come and take it flags are over. I'm like, where the fuck are you taking me?
It's like you hear in the background, ding, 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 ding. You're like, oh shit, I'm Mexican. Fuck.
But we were on that set. And, oh god, I mean, we've talked about it on here a few times before.
Yeah.
But the one I remember you telling me don't say no is when they told me, well, here's all of yesterday's footage.
Because we're shooting on film, actual celluloid film.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So every day we have to ship it back to Panavision to get processed. So
Yeah.
it has to be a daily thing.
But we were shooting out in some small town that day. I forget which one, where exactly. I think it was Yorktown. And they're like, "Here's yesterday's footage. This is about $4,000 worth of film. We need you to drive to Victoria, which is the next major town. Go to FedEx and ship it off. Like this is all this is everything. Just give it to them and you're good." Go to David. I don't have a license.
I'm like, go. Don't tell them no.
You have one today. You fucking have one
And
today.
like, don't.
Sir.
Did they ask you? He's like, well, no. They just told me to take the footage. I'm like,
Then go.
to go. Why are you still standing here?
It's like 2 rules: don't say no and don't tell on yourself.
Yeah. It's like deny, and counter accuse.
Took someone else's truck.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. He didn't have a vehicle. He didn't have a license. It was his first set.
Yep.
We popped this cherry major. And then they were asking for extras because we needed
Oh god.
we needed somebody to be
needed-
digging ditches
Well,
with
that wasn't. Oh, that was part of the extra.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
with
needed,
a cello.
Oh.
So he was in a ditch. They dirtied him up as a real Mexican.
Oh man.
Yeah, they needed us to be migrant workers. So they're like,
Oh.
yeah. So I was already
Sir, I
like
need
in
y'all to
a,
act in y'all's natural habitat,
Yeah.
please.
I mean, luckily I was already like in boots and jeans and a flannel. So they're just like, go to
God.
and they were like, literally they just like
They're like, hey, we need an actor, not a real world
Right.
person.
It's like, when did we
Yeah,
get
so
these
literally
in?
they just like threw dirt all over my clothes, and that was they're just
Oh,
like,
God.
go.
Jeez. And what film was this?
Bellator? It was
No,
no,
Bagatelle.
I'm sorry. Bagatelle Bellator is in
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. It's a short film. It was a short film.
It's
Yeah.
the director's from Russia, and he
Oh.
had gotten a big grant from Panavision and
Kodak.
Kodak,
Oh wow.
and so we were shooting. He's out of Austin now, and he flew in his actress from Russia.
Yep.
Oh wow.
The DP had worked on some major film.
I think he did I think he was a part of crew at least, or not, if not DP, on like the behind the scenes doc of like The Last Jedi or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty. I mean,
Pretty
we
good
had like
credits.
Yeah.
2 big ass ton trucks for grip.
Mhm.
Our department had their own big truck. Our guys had the van, of course. We had catering. It was really good production. It was
And
like-
somehow I ended up the only PA for
Yeah.
that whole production.
I took 3 students, and everybody like swooped up
Yeah,
all the
someone got,
students.
yeah, someone got one girl got snagged by production. One of the other dudes got snagged by camera. So it was just me as the only like general PA. Yeah, it was exhausting.
Like a whole pool of assistants, and everybody's like, I need
Mine.
all these.
And he was like,
I just had the
okay.
director in my ear basically all day, every day, just everything that was needed.
Oh, wow.
Everything from like, hey, we need you to drive to the next town over and drive like 4,000 worth of film over, to, can you hold an umbrella for the actress? The sun's in her face. And I'm like,
It's like, really? $90,000 worth of education, and I'm holding a fucking umbrella.
or like all the ditches that we dug, that like 6 of us dug.
Yeah.
You know, art crew left to go pack up the van, and like sun setting, so all crews like all on hand so they can get whatever shots they need before the sun goes down. They're like, all right, I guess it's just me filling all these holes now. This is just me in the background with a shovel, just all the dirt we dug, because we were renting someone's farm.
Yeah.
And so we were like, had to get all the ground back to the way it was. So I had to go back and fill all these holes.
Gosh. Way to go, David.
Hey, it's a process,
I'm
bro.
still here.
It's a process.
Loyalty right there.
It's not easy being, and you know what? That's one of the things that I do tell all the students. It's not easy. It's not like when you're shooting a school project,
No.
being in real production. 12 hours. Can you switch that? Make sure we're still recording. Because first of all, yeah, it's always 12-hour sets.
Oh yeah.
And on school is like 6 hours max, and they're like, oh my gosh, dude, no,
Yeah.
6 hours is like your break time by standards. But no, we run about at least 12 hours on set.
Yeah.
And I'm like, not only that, but motherfuckers are not gonna be nice to you. You know, you're gonna be told to do shit you're not comfortable with because, well, not sexually. Well, maybe sexually, but
It's me with David.
depends, yeah. And we all agree, like, yeah, okay, that's so sad. But then it's the real world is different because it's like it's hustle and bustle. It's always get
Yeah.
shit done
Mhm.
because at the end of the day we have to meet production.
Right.
And at school it's not like that. And I try to tell these students dude, it's a big awakening if you've never been on a real set, because when you do get on a real set, you're gonna be like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Past
So
my bedtime.
it's crazy because we had a lot of 12-hour days when we were filming Bellator. And
Actually, we had a couple of days when we went over 12.
yes.
And I had asked y'all, I was like, hey, dude, look, we could push 2 and or we could come back. And only because we had the place, I know what you're talking about,
Yep.
because we had the church for
Overnight.
so many hours,
Yeah.
and that cost us 5 G's alone for 1 day rental.
So
And I was
we
like,
wanted
dude, yeah, we're going to go. It was like, we have the
Gotta suck it
place
up.
because they gave it to us for a little bit longer because they're not coming back overnight.
Right.
But y'all's 12 hours passes that time. Do y'all mind staying? And everyone's like, fuck that, I'm not gonna come back.
You were actively trying to stick to 12-hour days on that one.
Yeah, we were because, well, for Bellator it was different because Bellator we had, I think it was like 30 locations.
Mm.
We had 30 locations, 19 days. We had a really tight budget.
Yeah.
And we had close to, I think, 45, 50 cast members.
Oh god.
Yeah.
And so to
Lovely.
manage all of that,
Damn.
it was, dude, I had to kick it in. And when I do know, we have to do the 12 hours.
And some of these guys had to drive in from out of town,
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Houston or Del Rio,
Yeah.
Austin.
Yeah, Austin.
Yeah.
The only one we flew in was, damn, I forgot his name now. But we flew him in from Arkansas.
Oh, Randy.
Yeah, Randall. Yeah, Randall. Yeah, we flew him in from Arkansas for that. But yeah, Bellator was a beast, dude. I was like,
Yeah, it was, man. We had some. I'm not gonna say some paranormal experiences at the church.
dude. One of the nights.
You got stuck.
Yes. We're
Him and
coming up.
Jessica got stuck
We're
in the
coming
elevator.
up on the elevator, and the elevator just shuts.
Midway.
Just stops working.
Yeah.
We're like, what the fuck, dude?
That night was the 12-hour night.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of shit going on inside the church. Honestly, I remember we stopped.
Lights were actually
flickering.
clicking off.
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
we literally stopped filming. We stopped production just to go and pray.
Yeah.
Shit. Sophie, she was like, you know what? We
Yeah.
went down and we had to literally gather ourselves because there was a lot of shit
Yeah.
going on.
On audio, on my end,
What'd you get?
dude, no, it was going crazy. I was getting so much fucking static on all 4 channels.
Oh shit.
And I was like, there's no fucking way. All these wires I have are brand new. Everything's good. Dude, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about that shit. Because I was like, yeah, Sophie, there's something like, no.
Something's not wanting us to film today.
It's like at all, dude, because I'm getting straight static. I've already reset all my equipment. I've reset it twice. And I'm still getting a lot of fucking static. Just
Yeah.
static. I would connect it and I was like, dude, that's like major feedback. And there was no
No
power
reason,
lines
yeah.
anywhere because they wouldn't turn on the fucking power for us.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I was like, dude, there's got to be something fucking just.
For sure, dude. Like in that day, well, when y'all got stuck in the elevator, it just literally happened out. It was him, Jessica, and there was one more. Well, there's 3 of y'all in there.
Oh, that one actor.
Um,
And he was going crazy because he
Yeah.
lost his mud. He was starting to panic.
yeah, he started because if you ever been stuck in an elevator, people start kind of like you'll figure out whether or not you're claustrophobic.
Or if that flight or fight
Yeah.
kicks in real quick.
Anxiety rises, but so we were trying to open the doors. We were trying to. I went in. I'm not gonna say I broke into a room, but I accidentally was able to get myself into a room that was
Yeah.
locked.
It was accident or something.
Yeah, it was accidental, and they accidentally left some keys and I was just curious what key opens what.
Yeah.
So my curiosity got us to get some like crowbars, kind of. We were trying to pry the doors open, and next thing you know, I think we opened them, right?
Yeah, the outside doors. Y'all
Yeah,
open.
the outside wheel.
And so we started trying to open the inside doors because there's double doors. Well, we quickly figured out that there's a locking mechanism
Yeah.
on the inside doors on the top of the hinge
Okay.
that won't. The more you pull it, the more it locks in. So if you pull them apart, it locks in. So you have to push it up, move it, and then it'll open up. Well, in order for you to get your hands in there, it's one of those tricky shits. And I'm like, fuck, dude. Okay, one of us could do it and kind of risk, like,
Right.
because everybody's. And I'm like, okay, Johnny, you need to stop. He's like, well, I almost got it. I'm like, dude, stop. It's a lock. He's like, okay, I got you. And then, of course, that actor, he's like, no. And he starts jumping, trying to. I'm like, dude, just calm the fuck down. Anyways, finally we finally got it open. Got everybody safety, but it took us maybe about 45 minutes.
No, yeah, we're in there for like an hour and a half.
Was it an hour and a half?
Yeah, like an hour and a half. And I think I want to say somebody may have called or was about to call the fire department.
Yeah.
I think we were trying to call the building manager, but it was in the middle of the night. It was like 3 a.m. Go figure, 3 a.m, right? So, yeah, so that kind of delayed. And that's the reason why we went over 12 hours that day too, is because of that shit. And
but it was just too much shit happening in that church. And we're like, dude, what the heck?
It would be the spiritual movie in a church.
Mhm.
No, for sure, for real. Like it was, like me, I don't get spooked
Yeah.
easily, but that kind of made me like, oh, fuck is that? Like, what is that? Yeah, so I'd say a lot of people took a lot of fast pisses there, fast restroom breaks. Yeah, like
Yeah, it was one of those run and go, everything, eat, run and go,
Yeah.
continue working. But anyways, so now that we've got all that out of the way, going back to film news, why we are back, Mr. Podcast Jesus here, talking about
ratings.
spiritual. So the reason why we wanted to be back is, one, we missed it. I know I talk to AJ all the time, and not to cut you off on this one, but when we started the podcast, we kind of wanted to do it because, one, we love movies, two, we love talking shit, and three, we like meeting new people. So when we started the podcast, we would go to like the horror convention and talk to people there, meet the directors and stuff like that. And of course, over 4 or 5 years, we've been on and off and so forth, because life happens. Either that or we get into productions, and we kind of productions take, they pay us. Podcasts are just for us shits and giggles. Well, anyways, all this stuff happened, but the last time we've taken the biggest break was AG moved. Him and Hannah got married. Well, they're gonna get married. So they've been fuckers all the time, but they're gonna get finally married by the church. Yeah, good.
No, but not by the church.
Okay, so they're gonna get married at least.
Is it our story? No.
There's a story to that. They're finally gonna get married. They moved out.
Yeah.
They got their own place. Life happens. They have 3 kids now. No, they don't.
Oh.
But
at one point I had 16, but that was
one of our the other previous cast member, he's just again busy with work. So everybody's kind of gone their own ways, school, so forth. But now we're back to where, okay, we kind of miss doing the podcast. We miss that camaraderie. We miss the community we formed with all our listeners, all 3 of them. Hopefully they'll be back. But every time we see the analytics, because we still pay for the podcast to be going, we're like, man, people are downloading. They're still listening. I don't know why, but they're still downloading. And so we finally decided, like, dude, do you think we should maybe one more time, one more go? And we were talking about it, but nothing really happened. Finally, Jennifer's like, well, ask Johnny, because he loves to talk. That motherfucker loves to talk. and the last 29 minutes, we know you love to talk.
You just asked me a question.
I know, and it's been 29 minutes.
30 minutes, or
30 minutes now. So it only meant, well, let me ask you, see if you want it. And that's when I asked you, and you're like, yes, I will talk. I'd love to talk. And I need to talk to people because nobody talks to me. So,
Nobody talks to me.
and nobody's like, I'm lonely.
They're all bastards.
And so, and so now that brings us to now. Film news.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
We're back. But we wanted to do something different. And this is where we kind of kick our ass because every time we say we're going to do something, we kind of start doing it and then we kind of tear off.
Yeah.
But this is either our make it or break it year. That's what I'm going to call it. Or
All right.
make it or
Fuck
break it year.
that. It's gonna be a make it. Year.
So if we make it this year, we're good. If not, then this will be the
No, we
last
are.
season.
No, it's not.
So it's a challenge for
Yes.
us too.
Yeah.
And for
Fuck
you, it's
that.
just like, we're gonna make it happen.
Yes.
So what we wanted to do is we kind of changed the way we do the podcast a little bit.
Okay.
So before the format was all three of us every week sitting around talking shit. And then because we started getting busy, whatever, then it was just once in a while we would sit together on Zoom. And then I was like, okay, well, I know people are busy and I still want to keep going. So then I did straight interviews on Zoom. But now it got busy, so we dropped it. This time around, I wanted to do a little bit different, and we were talking with AJ. We're like, okay, well, what can we do to alleviate some of the stress on all of us, but kind of introduce who we are individually, because we have different tastes individually, but also as a podcast to kind of keep people entertained. And this is where what we suggested.
Yeah.
So I'll let you explain that part.
Yeah, so we had kind of talked last time we met up. It was about a week or two ago at this
Yeah.
point. We were talking about new ways we could do it, things that would be a little less stressful than either of us driving across town every single week to sit around a table and talk about the podcast. And so the idea we came to was, okay, well, David, you still wanted to keep doing your interviews and kind of talking to different directors and talking local stuff. So and I like digging into movie news, things that are going on, what's coming out, and I'm also a huge comic fan, so I'm always following Marvel. I'm always following the MCU, and then also now I guess the DC movies that are going to start coming out now. So we kind of had the thought of, okay, so what if we start trading off? 1 week, David does his own thing and does something local or interviews like a director around town, something like that. The next week, it's just me. I'm talking about whatever news is going on, whatever comic movies coming out, anything like whatever I'm following, things like that. And then we just kind of traded off. And then I was like, well, that's only 3 weeks out of the year. And he's like, well, I'm bringing in this dude Johnny, and he can talk, and he can have his. He's like, he'll be down to have his own show. I'll just see what he wants to do. And I was like, all right, fine, fuck it, because this is our first time ever meeting. So I was just like, sure, why not? We'll
He's
let it
lying.
run.
His
So-
ex-wife was my wife.
Oh yeah.
Never mind. That's a lie too.
It's like, no, wasn't she your husband?
Anyways,
He
go
found
on.
out. So yeah, that's kind of the new world that we kind of were debating diving into. I guess that would.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of like 1 week you go,
yeah,
another
1 week
I go,
Yeah,
1 week you go, and then hey, the last week we all fucking get together.
Yeah, like 1 week out of the month, then we all all three of us sitting
Yeah.
together and talking about and bullshitting like we normally do, and then that way it kind of gives us like a week off here and there, a couple
for
weeks
sure.
off, and then also time to focus on our own thing, and still kind of be under the Film Noobs umbrella, but kind of bring our own little flavor and identity to it too, a little bit, because I think we try to have topics for each of our episodes, but it ends up us just bullshitting for most
Yeah.
of it, and.
Well, because again, when you sit around with people who like films, who like to talk and bullshit, most of the time we veer off so bad
Yeah.
to where like the topic was like, fuck.
Like one of the first ones was like practical versus digital
Yeah.
effects. Like,
And
that
we
was-
talked
I think
about
was,
it for like
episode
5
one.
minutes, and then after that we were talking about
Some other shit.
some
Yeah.
other movies that we like,
Like every
and
horror
like,
movie ever made, and it was
Yeah.
just
Have you guys ever talked about ADHD maybe?
Yeah, no,
Same.
no.
Just saying.
So you were not gonna have a week.
Maybe I'm not. Sorry.
No, but that was one of the things that we wanted to propose, and hopefully the listeners will appreciate that a little bit better because you don't have to listen to me every fucking week, but they get to listen to everybody. And
Yeah, for sure. In their own realm, kind of
Yeah.
like give their own, like you said, give their own idea, their own spice.
yeah. And also thinking about opening up the idea to different formats and stuff like that. Because like me, like if I were to do something like that, my idea was I was probably gonna I mean, I know we're doing video now and we're trying to introduce it a little bit more here and there, but mine was probably gonna be more on the video side because taking clips and trailers and looking at things like that. And I'm not sure what yours was gonna look like.
I always do Zoom calls.
Interviews, yeah.
Yeah. So there's always a video aspect to mine, but it's not one of those like. It's strictly video because like I did one where I did a Zoom call, but the director didn't want to be on camera, so it was a blank screen and me, and it was so fucking awkward because I'm talking to a blank screen and I'm like yeah, da, 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 da. And he's talking back and I'm like. And I don't know how to, most of the time you read people, you're like, okay, cool, yeah. Oh, that's something he wants to talk about because he leans into whatever, so you're like, okay, cool. But
it's like I'm talking to a creep here. He's looking at me and he's probably just thinking, he's probably not even there.
He's probably in his underwear.
Probably taking a shit or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, what's that, Rob? What was that, sir?
He's like, what was that noise? Oh, no, never mind. Moving on.
But yeah, so just moving forward, film names might look a little different, but I mean, it's still us. It's still
that's bullshit.
It's still us bullshit.
Yeah.
A lot of another thing. I don't know if you followed or kind of saw some of the podcasts before.
I did.
There's no such thing as we're what is it called?
Political correctness, spoiler warnings.
Spoiler warning, all that shit.
I don't give a fuck.
So if they haven't watched the movie and you spoil it for them, well.
Yeah, if you're listening to us, you know we're gonna talk about everything in the movie.
And those who know me, straight up, every single person who knows me, with the exception of you, because you're just meeting me,
for the second
like
time.
my friends, for the second time, right? I'm sorry about the last time. Anyways, no. So like seriously, like all my friends who know me from here, I'm from San Antonio, so I got a lot of friends here. I know a lot of people.
Southside.
Yeah, Southwest side, but back in the South side. Anyways, they already know I have no fucking filter. Because fuck your feelings, and the world fucks your feelings harder than my words. So
Very much.
they all know that, and so. The way I say it as I see it, and if your feelings got hurt, well, then turn your station off, I don't really give a fuck.
Again, we have 3 faithful fucking followers that thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
And this started in a Catholic school.
Yes. Private Catholic school.
Oh man, I remember those days.
We had to try so hard to not swear on air because we
Yeah.
were also on live radio too. So
Yeah, that's how we started. We were broadcasting because the student radio station needed programming, and I pitched the idea to the program editor or program director, and she's like, "Yeah, well, I don't care, but because you're a podcast, can we put you Friday mornings?" I'm like, "Does anybody listen Friday mornings?" She's like, "No, not really." And I'm like, "Okay, fuck it, I don't care if I get to keep the podcast, right? I can keep it." She's like, well, yeah, nobody's listening, so yeah, I don't care. I'm like, yes. So we had to kind of taper ourselves off, but we got free footage, like 2 or 3 videos we remembered to record ourselves.
The first 3, yeah.
But we got a lot of the audio clips and we started doing the podcast, but it only lasted like a year.
If that, maybe.
On campus.
At least a semester. I think it was, I don't even know if it was more than a semester.
But then after that, we like, dude, we can't.
I got a parking ticket.
Yeah.
Because I just decided, I was like, well, if it's a Friday, there's no one here, I'll just park in front of the building. Oh, no, that's premium parking, $60. There it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't us.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the beginning of us, but it wasn't us. And that's one of the things, like you said, I mean, most of the time, if you listen to us plenty of times, one, we're not politically correct. I hate fucking shit that's just, anyways, you eventually learn. I think I'm the worst one so far that hates political correctness for the sake of political correctness. We don't care about cursing because, again, most of us were military. You're prior military as well.
Retired.
Yeah, retired, same thing.
Retired.
We're tired.
Just a little tired.
So as far as the podcast goes, we're not changing the core of it. We're just changing the programming to hopefully alleviate and maybe continue doing the podcast that way.
For sure. Yeah, because that was always like the hard thing. It's like, well, it's like, gosh, like we were like, okay, yeah, cool. Every like, it was like every Friday for so long, and then it was like every Wednesday, and then it was just here and there, and then,
Oh, I got it.
and it became a thing. Where it's like, well, we missed 1 week, and we're like, well, shit, and it's like, okay, well, now we got to get back on track because, and one of the, I mean, David looks at our analytics all the time. It's like if we miss 1 week, it's like it drops off like crazy.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, we missed 1 week. Ah, shit, now we missed the next week, and now we're on hiatus again. And so it became like it's just
Almost
really,
a running gag at the point.
that it's like, yeah, because even the last time we did it, it's like, cool, we're gonna be back now. Maybe, probably not.
Probably not. And then like 6 months later, hey, we're back again.
So I mean, hopefully the idea of like we're only meeting up once a month to actually sit down and do this, and I think the idea was at least to go back and forth, so we're not always going to the same place, make it a little bit easier because
I am fucking open to going anywhere.
You're too easy.
I am. I'm
You
cheap,
just-
bro. I'm very fucking.
Fucking slut.
Yes.
South
Doesn't take- I'm
side.
very cheap, bro. Like you don't. It doesn't take much.
No, it doesn't.
No.
I can attest to that.
Yeah, it doesn't take much
so
for
he's
me
the
to
new
say
fluffer?
yes.
Or-
Yeah, he's a new fluffer.
Hey.
Did I finally get upgraded?
Yes, you got upgraded. AJ, you are now in the big boy chair.
7 year, however long.
So
Yes.
with film noobs,
Huh.
are there going to be like any topics? I'm just curious, just throwing this out there. Like in the future, talking about how, film, how it's associated with like real life events that occur. Like, say for instance, I don't know, like when we come to aliens, shit
Yeah.
like that, like the
That's
movie
real?
Nope. Yeah, like how, yeah. Hey,
I'm
fuck yeah,
going
that's
to
real.
enjoy you.
You know what I'm saying? Because I always have conversations with people, and back in the day, when I was younger, when I used to do some substance that made my imagination broaden,
Opened your mind.
This is
Um,
pre-army or pre-military.
Pre-military, yeah,
Yeah.
pre-military. This was
Of course.
This was the
Of
one
course.
time when I put on my thing. The one time, all right. The one time.
It lasted a year, but it was one time.
It was one time. All right, 1 times 10. Anyway, so yeah, I would always talk about how I always felt like Hollywood and the government had a budget, and the government would, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and let y'all make a film on this, but we're gonna hide in plain view, right, for the movie.
Yeah,
of
no,
the
no,
shit's
no.
going on,
Dude,
but it's really not going on.
the last movie that was like that, where it just came out recently, but it was like that, where it was the government, the news, they were covering it up. Oh man, it was a big conspiracy theory. Man, fuck you, dude. It's been a minute since we talked
No
film
shit.
films. But no, I do get what you mean, because a lot of times we've mentioned this before, where Hollywood will kind of mimic reality,
Mhm.
or reality mimics Hollywood in a way. But yeah, that's going back to what you originally said, and this is why again we cater off so much. We normally do have a topic that we come to the table with,
Yeah.
but being that most of us are retarded anyways, and
Retired.
and have ADD or OCD or PSD,
STD.
STD, something.
Not the last one.
You know what I mean? We're not right in the head anyways, so there's nothing that's sacred on the table.
Okay.
Like literally, there's nothing that's sacred on the table.
Oh, I'm not afraid to get canceled, whether it's by
Oh,
y'all or the government.
We've
I don't give a
said a
fuck.
couple shit that we should not have said.
Oh no! You should always say what you want to say.
No, we've said it anyway. But
Yeah,
it's something like, dude, I know we're gonna get canceled for this shit. If the right people hear what we're saying, they're gonna fucking.
Yeah, there's probably at least a couple of episodes too where you'll hear us go, we're talking, we're like, do I want to say this? Nah, fuck it, and you just go off. And,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Can't think of anything that's been that
Well, if it hasn't, it
depends.
will.
bad.
Yeah, it depends.
Nah. Yeah.
I know I get on my rant, especially when it comes to damn equality bullshit. But anyways,
Was it the DIE?
Yeah, that whole
Die?
DI.
Is it DI?
Die.
Or DEI? Whatever.
It's die.
Die, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Anyways.
Look, if you're nice to me, I'm nice to you. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, dude.
That's it. Nice to me, I'm
Reach
nice
around, yeah. I'll give you a reach around.
Right. You can cancel us next Tuesday.
Next,
C-U-N-T.
that your?
C-U-N-T.
But I saw our time mark. Damn, we're actually doing
Yeah.
pretty good for the first time. So going back to the podcast, as far as the format goes, every week we'll try
Switch it up.
as much as we can. We'll get back on schedule to do a podcast per person, so you'll get to see, AJ with mainly his with comic book based news,
stuff, yeah.
newsworthy stuff
Yeah.
coming out of Hollywood. For me, most of the time, I like to do interviews with indie directors.
Oh, okay.
It's not just local, but a lot of indie directors I've had from California, Canada, people that I meet on the film festival circuit that have done movies.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I stick with directors is mainly because a lot of times their movies will never get seen.
Yeah.
So we kind of try to focus on that shit. And with you, I want to see what your take was on, or what do you think you're gonna bring to the table as far as
I
film
think for me, I love interviewing. I love talking to people one-on-one, just to bring in people in, who's in comedy, actors, upcoming actresses and actors, specifically around the San Antonio area too, because I root for the little people. I root for them so bad. Like I'm the underdog guy. I've always been big on the underdog people because I love seeing people succeed. I fucking, like, to me, that tickles my strings when I see somebody who's worked so hard from scratch and didn't like ask for anything, or didn't, wasn't given anything because of who they are or who they're related to or who they know, but they worked their ass off to get where they're at today. And like, to me, I love people's backstories of where they're at or how they're upcoming, shit like that. So like, to me, I would probably bring in people to, interview them. And I have a lot of friends who are in the, in the San Antonio, nightlife or, the comedy scene and whatnot, that I would love to bring them on and kind of just give their backstory. Because a lot of them grew up like I did. Nothing. Didn't have shit, and look where they're at now. So to get their stories out, and for the listeners out there to kind of be like, because I'm pretty sure there's people out there who all they do is they just put their little feet in the water, but they don't fucking have the courage to go both feet, jump in, fuck it. And I think by them hearing somebody else's story, even one of ours, whatever, that's going to inspire them. People will get inspiration from other people's stories and be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to do it. I didn't start any of this shit until I hit my 40s, and this was like my second phase of my life. I had dedicated my entire adult life to the military. I did so many tours. I was always away from home.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time away from home, honestly, like I didn't even get to see my kids grow, and I did see them from a distance, because I was always gone. So like jumping into this next phase, like, I'm retired now. I still work because I want to, and I still dedicate, some of my time now giving back to the military on the civilian side, but I'm less grounded. I'm able to be more mobile and flexible with my time. And showing people that just because you're at your age, it doesn't matter. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can still do shit if you want to do it. If there's something that's on your mind that you want to fucking do, go fucking do it. Don't let the whole I'm fucking too old to start. Fuck out of here. You're not too old. Fucking go do it. So like, I want to get people's stories out like that, because I would hope that it would inspire a listener or a new listener out there. Like, man, you know what? I needed to hear that. And give them some, like I said, some inspiration to get up and get their shit doing, get what they want to do and do it. So, yeah.
The only one of us who's going to do something positive for film news.
Nah. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. So yeah, and then again, week number 4, we'll come back. We'll sit around somebody's table, be stupid, talk shit. We'll have a topic that we should hopefully stick to. But like always, we always veer off like 5 minutes after we start talking, and only because again, it depends on how that month goes.
Yeah.
The kind of shit that happens. Hopefully, we could get back to where we were before, because I know at one point we were going to festivals and we were going as film noobs to go talk to some of these, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's another thing I wanted to ask is like, do y'all have like a list of events that happen on a monthly basis or a quarterly basis that occur that y'all actually go and attend as film noobs? You know?
Not anymore.
No? I mean, that's something that y'all don't mind doing later on. I mean,
No, again, and that's one of the things that we've always, and it kind of hurts us, but that's who we are, is that we're not so rigid that we have this, like, we only do this and only this. We only talk about horror films because we all love horror films.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, but no. But at the same time, everything revolves around the film industry and being new to it, because we are new to it. We're constantly growing, and we're not in Hollywood. We're not making $200,000 billion films. We're making $200 films
Yeah.
on a really, really tight schedule with friends and neighbors and people that are passionate about making something good
Yeah.
that might not last.
Yeah.
We don't know until we make it. So that's the whole premise of Film Noobs, is that it's not about like, oh well, we're only podcasting about horror films. We love horror films. That's our favorite time of the month.
Horror, guys.
Yeah.
Horror.
What is it? Horror? Horror?
He likes those
Horror
movies,
film.
too.
Yeah, I love
Whoremonger.
it. I love those films.
Whoremonger
Yeah.
films.
Yeah,
No,
But, I mean, those festivals,
yeah.
those festivals gave us a lot of
there
cool
is film
opportunity.
festivals for
Horror.
Whoremonger
Yeah, horror.
and horror.
Did you want like a boobs and blood?
Huh?
You want a boobs and blood award or something like that?
Yes, yes. That's how I got my way into the industry. The guys who, okay, my first,
Porn?
no.
Oh, you just.
Anyway,
I can see
Well,
you
it's
playing
yes and
Ron
no.
Jeremy minus the
It's-
midsection.
yeah. It's like a mini Jeremy.
I just call you Ronald Jeremy.
You're right. Anyways, one of the first films that we did was Lowriders vs. Zombies from Space. I entered into a film festival called Boobs and Blood, because boobs and blood. Who doesn't love boobs and blood? And it was a horror film festival.
Horror.
Yes, that's what I said. Damn it! Shut up. Yeah. And anyways, so we won honorable mention, whatever. But a year later, one of the directors, she's like, "Hey, dude, I'm starting a distribution company. You mind me having your title?" I'm like, "Bro, I've already done whatever I want with it.
Sounds sexual.
You're not gonna fucking do anything with it." He's like, "Oh, no, dude, I can make us money. Just sign me over your title." Yeah, whatever, here. I didn't care here. Before you know it, it's on Amazon, on Tubi, on fucking Apple TV, and all this shit, and I'm getting revenue checks every quarter. I'm like, wow, that's pretty badass. We even got an interview on one of the horror magazines, and I can't remember what the name of it was. But anyways, yeah, we got into that. And that's how I got my way into the industry, through that.
Wow.
And after that, I've been able to like talk to other distributors, again, talk
Network.
to, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was my way in, and, purely by sheer accident. But it was because we did our first film. It was a cheesy, dumb, fucking stupid film. And we just wanted to do it because we wanted to do it. We wanted to see if we
Cheesy,
could
dumb.
do it.
Yeah.
And we did it. And that's why, again, I was like, after that, I'm like, fuck it, dude. If you're not making film, if you're not trying, then why? Why are you even here?
Yeah, for sure.
Why? If my stupid ass could do a cheesy, dumb, stupid, fucking lowrider zombie movie
Yeah.
and put it in and get it into distribution for practically like nothing, because again, I knew a bunch of people from the lowrider industry, from
Nothing out of something.
yeah, but it was networking, it's talking to people, and it's like you said, telling your story, man. Fucking
Yeah.
getting people to bite off on it.
Yeah, for sure. And it's not something to like convince people of who you are. And I think it's more of like, it's, like I said, it's inspirational.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh fuck, man, you started here and this is all you did, and like I didn't get to where I'm at today. You know, like last year I had a big year. I did Bellator.
Yeah.
I did a few scenes for 1923 season 2, where I had to actually change my. I had the little.
Yeah.
You hated it. You fucking hated
look
it.
gay
It's
as
like, oh,
shit.
dude, look at you. I just want to fucking just ride you with my midsection. This fucking guy, right? So I'm like, sir, I'm gonna need you to relax, calm down, waistband that bad boy over there. And then I also did a fucking Doritos commercial, which that one was for the Super Bowl. It was actually pretty cool, and all that shit just it
And look
popped
at you
up.
now. You're on film.
Now I'm on fucking Film Noobs, guys.
How your
Film Noobs.
not
Not to be
year
confused
just
with boobs.
you know
We've
how
been mistaken for that before.
Oh, Film
our
Noobs.
first festival we went to, who's he? The director of
God. Was it
Full Moon.
No, Full Moon.
Full Moon, the owner of Full
Twilight?
Moon. No, it's it's a production company out of California.
Yeah.
Oh,
He does a lot of B movie horror
forward.
fucking films. They're I mean, if you don't know who Full Moon Productions is, you need to.
I will look at it.
But he's been around forever. The motherfucker is prolific. Anyways, when we did his interview, he's like, "Film noobs," and then he looks at my wife. He's like, "Boobs."
I don't know if I
He's like,
feel
"Guys,"
disrespected
he's like,
or-
"Guys, I see why y'all pick film noobs," and I'm like,
he's just looking at Jennifer, right?
Yeah.
And Jennifer wearing a low cut shirt.
"Yes,
Of course.
low cut, tight shirt."
It was our shirt. It was our.
Sorry, Jen.
Yeah.
Yeah, boobs. I mean, noobs was stretched out. Yeah.
Hi, Jen.
Yeah,
Eyes up.
yeah. My eyes are up here. Yep, I know.
Yep.
I know your eyes are up
Eyes.
there. I know
Those
they're.
look
I
like
know
eyes, too.
exactly where they're at. I'm not looking at your eyes. But yeah, he kept looking at her, and we're like, okay, yeah, sure. Of course, he's had like 5 different wives, and
Oh.
yeah. He's like worth 5 billion. I'm like, Jen, you know, if he tells you go for it, dude. I'm okay. Be his
This is
6th
the
wife,
guy-
yeah.
This is the guy behind like Murder Bong and
Yeah, Ouija's
yeah, the Puppet Master movies.
Puppet Master moves.
Oh
Yeah,
shit!
that's-
Okay.
So now you know who.
yeah.
Yeah. So when we did his interview, he was like, "Film, boobs, noobs, boobs," and I was like,
Noobs.
Jennifer's like, "I feel so like okay." No, I'll edit that out so that way she doesn't.
Fucking bastard. He's
The one-
just
that's
looking
the one
down
line.
at me.
So, as we're closing up because we got about 2 minutes left. Well, that's another thing. We're keep it about an hour.
1 hour, folks.
Yeah, shui. We've been known to kind of rant.
Oh,
So, but
maybe.
hopefully, yeah, we try to keep it about an hour, and that's pretty much the podcast. AJ,
Yes.
anything else you want to add?
Anything in closing?
Yeah, it's closing.
No, it's good to be back. I mean, I've been going through such like creatively, like such just a good rut lately, just because it's been so long we haven't been in production. I haven't written a damn thing, and so it really wasn't until like we saw each other last week that I was like, we started talking some of the stuff that we had going on in the background, the kind of stuff we left behind, and I was like, well, shit. Now I've got the bug and I was cranked out as short in like a week, and
I know that's quick.
I every day after work I would just go to Barnes and Noble by my house and sit down in the cafe and just write for about an hour and a half, and I was just cranking out scene after scene, and it felt good to be back in the groove. And I think because we went so long without sitting down around the table, it kind of
Recharged.
yeah.
Recharge. Yeah.
So being around you guys definitely helps me keep going, because outside of that, then it's just me in an office job and it gets real sad. So
Hey, do me a favor. Lean into the camera or lean into the mic and say, fuck my life.
yeah, fuck my life.
He looks like the guy in Superbad. The one that says, fuck my life. Where he's getting the beer, he's drinking the beer, and he's like, "Fuck my life," and he throws the beer down.
I gotta see that. Oh, my phone's being
Oh my
recorded.
god! Oh, he looks just like super bad.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look at it in a minute. Yeah.
Never mind.
Okay. That's the kind of shit that I'm talking about. That we'll get sidetracked and everything.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be closing it out.
25 minutes later, we're like, back to the topic. But outside of that, no. Hopefully, this is us actually getting back into the groove of things, and yeah, no. Let's just challenge ourselves. This is our make it or break it. This was supposed to.
Now
be.
it's a make it. It's a make it. We're gonna make it, folks.
I like his
Fellas.
energy.
I do
We're
too.
gonna make it. We are going.
We need
to
some
make
energy.
Definitely need some
Yeah.
energy.
it. Yeah. Shit.
Johnny, you want?
No. I'm glad to be on. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to listening to y'all's guys when y'all have y'all's individual weeks, and then when we get together. Looking forward to hearing from the noobs, the newbies that are going to be listening to us, the film noobers or boobers, whatever you want to show.
Yeah, whatever. Is it?
Yeah, and they'll be able to reach us and follow us on YouTube,
Yeah.
Spotify.
Matter of fact, yes, our platforms, for audio, we normally do. Shit, what do we do?
Spotify, Apple.
Yeah, Apple Podcasts.
Google Podcast is gone.
Yeah.
Podbean.
hmm
And
That's our home is Podbean.
Yeah.
But from there, yeah, we do Spotify, we do Apple, we used to do Amazon, but I think they're gone also, and Google's gone.
Yeah.
Fuck 'em.
But we also get pirated a lot, like a lot,
Oh yeah,
Fuck
we
'em
do.
too.
which is great. I don't care.
Yeah.
As far as video, and we try to do video, and only because people like to have shit in the background.
Well, a lot of times these people they want to see a face to the voice.
Yeah.
You know, and so I know I'm one of them. Like, who the fuck is talking? I bet this son of a bitch looks like a fucking dick with ears.
Which he
Yes.
does.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
But
And scruff.
and another thing too, AJ, for the new listeners and also the old ones who probably just got their social media back up, where could we find you?
Me
Yeah,
personally,
on social media.
I don't. All my stuff's private.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Man. He's private. I'm not.
Where can we find you,
Well, you
Johnny?
can find me on Facebook, Johnny Nova. Just type that in, Johnny Nova. Nova. That's it. I am gonna get my Instagram back up eventually. I will.
Bitches can't act right.
I can't. I fucking can't.
Is bitches.
I can't act right. I can't act right.
Dude, that's okay. That's why I don't have an Instagram either.
See?
So.
This fucking furball over here. Jesus.
Yeah, I know. I remember one day because I was like, I remember sending David a link to something. What the fuck are all my messages? Oh, this.
That wasn't a
fucker.
link. That was my dick.
Oh, bastard!
Bastard, where am I going to send my dick pics to? AJ, sorry.
He has two
but-
fucking hot dog buns in between. What do you think of this fucking hot
Is
dog
that
bun?
artistic enough?
Jesus.
Is it the right angle? Does it give it girth?
Some many hot dogs there, buddy.
Way to close out Film Noobs, guys. Way to close out.
Thank you for
Anyway.
listening.
Thank you.
The last time.
I know, right? We always end up that way. He's like, hopefully you'll be back after
Hey.
listening to our bullshit.
I'll find you.
After what we used to call our sponsor, we're fine.
Yeah. So as far as like Film Noobs, our home is always Silent Flight Media. Facebook, you could find us there. Instagram, we got to get back on. We have an Instagram, but we haven't been active on it.
Okay. Well,
Um,
I'm about to change that.
And
YouTube, of course.
YouTube. We used to have a Twitter, X, whatever it was. Did you get it out?
Twatter.
Is that it?
Yeah, we don't have it anymore.
No.
No, because when it changed over, I don't know, man. We
We
might have
gotta
it.
get back on that
Yeah.
shit.
Anyways,
We'll get back on it.
yeah, we'll get back with you on the socials. But as far as like the main ones, Facebook and YouTube.
Facebook and YouTube. Yeah.
That's normally how you can find most of the major news.
Did you cancel your Moco Space account?
Shh, nobody knows about that.
Sorry. We'll edit this.
I like the big butts and I cannot lie.com. You can find us there scrolling.
SeyMoreButts.com.
See, dude, I wonder if people remember that. Anyways, let's close it out.
Never gonna
AJ, close us out, man.
Anyway, this has been Film Noobs. Actually, that's probably the most Film Noobs closing we could ever ask for. But as always, I am Adrian.
I am Johnny.
I'm David. Till next time,
Until next time.
make sure you keep watching films. Bye. Alright? Yeah, we're gonna get in trouble for that. So.